Hello. So I want to talk really quickly. I want to talk about how the indigenous women, known as the so-called Black American women, how I just learned to not really get bothered when you have people, I say, with big channels or whatever, or people who are entertainers, or just people in general who use their platform to tear them down. Here's why I just learned to just not really be concerned about it. Because it's not even that I'm concerned about myself. It's not even that it's the fact that why why can't they find anything better to do besides just tear down this group of women? But somebody said something to me. I saw one of my patients. I was doing home health OT, and I brought up that situation with Michael B. Jordan, and I forget the other guy's name, but they were presenting at the, what's it, BAFTA? It was the British, I guess, awards or whatever. And as Michael B. Jordan and this other guy, he's a well-known actor. I just forget his name, but he's well-known. He's been around longer than Michael B. Jordan. I just forget his name. But anyway, um, somebody blurted out the N word, right? And it turns out the guy has Tourette's. Okay, that's fine and dandy. Excuse my throat. I need to drink some water or something. That's fine and dandy, but the edit when they were able to do the edit, the person who did the editing or the people who did the editing never edited that part out. But then you have some other guy who's accepting an award and he's talking about free Palestine, and that part just happened to be conveniently edited out, okay? But the N word was not edited out. Edited out. So that lets me know that okay, I don't know if this guy with Tourette's, if he had control over what he said, but even if he didn't, they could have edited that part out. So that lets me know that they just want to get the crowd worked up. They want to get people worked up. And as I was talking to this guy, he said, you know what? This is an older gentleman. Okay, what, 70s, 80s? He said when he was growing up, he remember going to school and that N word, they would fight you over that N word. But then he realized he heard this white guy call a guy, another black guy, the N word. And he said the black guy said, you know what, you my N word, I'm your N word. You know what, you my igga, I'm your igga, all that stuff. He said that to the white guy. That's my igga, I'm his igga, that's my igga. You know. And the guy that I was speaking to said ever since he heard that, he said he stopped worrying about it. Because it was clear that other so-called black people did not have a problem with it. Okay? They were accepting of this treatment. So much so that they use that word in rap music today. So he ain't worried about it. These white folks can say the N word all they want to because so-called black people do not care. Okay? So that brings me back to here. I stopped worrying about how people are talking about um, so-called black women online. I stopped worrying about that because they have a choice if they want to keep supporting people who tear them down. And I've said this time and time again, these ladies continue to support people who tear them down. They continue to support people who degrade them. They continued, and while he was alive, they continued to support Kevin Samuels. They continued to support Tommy Sotomayor. They continue to support Funky Dineva. They continue to support T.S. Madison. They continue to just go crazy over Chris Brown. They continue to support all these men who don't like them, won't date them, well, some won't date them because they're not interested in women, and the other ones just they don't want a woman who look like them. Okay, they want the other. Okay, they want the other group of women, and they make that clear. But this group of women still continue to support them. And I'm like that guy. I said, well, I don't need to care anymore. If they're going to keep supporting people who abuse them, if they're going to keep supporting their abusers, if they're going to keep supporting Corey Holcomb, because Corey Holcomb ain't did nothing to me, personally, have not done anything to me. I was going all off making so many videos about Corey Holcomb. Is this lady going to press charges? Has she pressed charges against him? Because if she has not pressed charges against him, this guy, Corey Holcomb, put up a picture of Anton Daniels' wife and his daughter having them look like a monkey, while Anton Daniels looked like a regular schmegular man. Okay, he created a T-shirt of Anton Daniels in the middle, holding up his wife and his on one side and the daughter on the other side, and his wife, Anton Daniels' wife and the daughter look like monkeys, while Anton Daniels look like a regular man, animated because it's on a T-shirt, but still look like a regular man, right? What is Anton Daniels doing about that? That's his family. What is his wife doing about that? What are so-called Black American women? What are they gonna still support this man? Do they support him? Okay. So I said, I'm done even caring about Corey Holcomb. I would never support him. But I'm done just worried about him. Like, I'm over these people in general who disrespect so-called Black American women. I'm over being upset about it. Okay, I'm over even being concerned about it, because if you have an entire group who I've seen them, when they want to discontinue something, they can stop it. When they want to take somebody down, when they want to cancel, when they want to cancel somebody, they can do it. I remember 2019. It was a white guy who was in this movie, and the role that he played in this movie, he played he pretended to be a so-called black woman, and he had all the mannerisms like, so-called ghetto type of black woman. This was like in 2019, and black women, so-called black women, got together because they were so offended at this white guy who played this role mocking a black woman, a black radio host. He acting all ghetto and stuff and all his mannerisms. And black women got so offended that they made sure, I guess this movie was supposed to be up for an award or something. Black women got together and made sure that that movie just never really saw the day of light. Black women got together and made sure that movie never won any kind of award, that movie just didn't film. This black woman just shut that whole thing down. And that made me realize they can do whatever they want to do, they can do. They are choosing who they want to shut down. Okay? That told me everything I need to know. And they have had other so-called black women. They got together to take down Kendall St. Charles' page. Okay? So that let me know that I need to stop being concerned about black women. I like to say so-called black women because what is black? So I say so-called, right? I try to get away from this identity, but I just know that's just what's used. That's the language that's used. That's when I decided I'm gonna stop being concerned about that. Okay. I can feel however I want to feel about myself. I don't have to see myself in a way that these guys or these people want to tear down, so-called black women. I don't have to see myself that way, and they're not talking to me. They're not talking to me because I said before to disconnect myself from a particular consciousness of people who um, it's not even that they don't have self-worth. Is the point is the fact that they're not even interested in trying to elevate themselves. Because anybody can have symptoms of low self-esteem, low self-worth, and all this other stuff going on according to their environment. However they might have been growing up, they could have been abused. All kinds of stuff could have happened where, you know, anybody, especially in the United States of America or anywhere in the world, but I'm most familiar with the United States of America, how much it does everything possible to tear down the so-called black women, right? But the so-called black women don't help when she wants to keep participating and supporting her abusers. Okay? And I've got to the point to separate from the consciousness of the black American woman. I'm going to stop calling them indigenous. I wanted to call them indigenous because I didn't like the term black. I'm not going to call this group of women indigenous because I want to disconnect myself from them. If I call myself indigenous, I don't want to call them indigenous because I want to separate myself from that consciousness. Just let them be black women. Okay? Because I got to the point where I'm going to stop getting offended and annoyed when people always want to target this group of women to tear them down. I'm going to stop because I've seen black women in action. When they want something to stop, they know how to make it stop. When they want something canceled, they know how to cancel it. I saw a lady on her YouTube channel talk about how she don't want to tell anybody where she's about to work because other black women called their jobs, went on her LinkedIn page and called her job, and she lost her job, and she lost her membership at a gym because some of these ladies called the gym and said all this crazy stuff. Black women know how to do stuff that they want to do. When black women want somebody canceled, when black women want somebody disenfranchised, they know how to do it. And this was a black woman doing this to other black women who haven't done anything to them. But they chose to attack other groups, other people who's not even bothering them. So I come to the conclusion, black women, if they want something to stop, they know how to make it stop. So let me stop being concerned when people get online and say all this nasty, calling black women fish, calling black women hair hats, calling black. Let me stop getting annoyed when people call black women names. Let me stop doing that. Because if they want it to end, they know how to make it end. But with that being said, I'll talk later. All right.